Welcome to Clay Virtual Academy. The purpose of this video is to help you with getting started in your online learning. To begin, we want to log in to your course. So to do that, we do recommend that you use Google Chrome as your web browser. If you have Firefox or Internet Explorer, you may use those as well. However, Internet Explorer does not usually work very well with a lot of the embedded material. So we definitely recommend Google Chrome, and if that's not possible, then the Mozilla Firefox. To log into your course, you will go to www.flvs.net and select Login, and then click on the County Virtual Schools to get to the login page, as you can see in the picture on this slide. Then you will enter your username and password that you created when you were registering for your CVA course, and that will log you in. And then if you scroll down on the home page, on the dashboard, the home page, you will see a list of your different courses that you are currently enrolled in. You will want to select the actual orange course box under the course you're wanting to enter to get to the actual class. So you'll click on that orange course box to enter your course. Once you enter your course, you're going to come to the course landing page, which happens to be the home page for the course, and this is also considered the announcements page as well. There will be lots of information posted here about your teacher and different things that are important to the class, and sometimes information that is needed on a daily basis or a special case will be posted here as well. So do make sure that you scroll down so you can see all the information found on your course homepage. So here is a picture of one of my courses. This happens to be the Marine Science course homepage, and you can see you can find my office hours listed here. You also will find my phone number, the appointment scheduler button, where you will use later when you're needing to schedule VBAs or welcome calls, and some other information such as the tech support information, as well as some information on how to contact our Clay Virtual principal. So lots of information on this course homepage. At the top of the course page, you'll see a black toolbar, and on this toolbar are multiple icons that represent different places within the course. So as you can see, if you go across from left to right, the lessons assignments icon is a little book next to the words Clay County, and it's on this page. It is highlighted in the red, and this is where you will go to access all of your lesson material and assignment directions. So this is like the textbook for the course, and also embedded within that is the directions for any assignments you will need to do. Right next to this icon is the little turn-in box, and it's highlighted in blue, and this is the assessments location. This is where you will turn in any assignments, whether they be a written assignment, an exam, a quiz, a worksheet, any assignment that was directed in the lessons, the textbook portion. You will come here to this turn-in box to find it and submit it. Next to that, highlighted in green, is the course homepage button. So anytime you need to get back to the course homepage, you will select that, and it'll take you directly back to the homepage. Next to that are the three horizontal bars. This represents the main menu for the course, where there's lots of other little things that you can access. We will highlight a couple of those areas later on in the video. Highlighted in purple is the little envelope, which represents your course email. This is email for your courses that you're taking with Clay Virtual specifically, so please check these emails on a regular basis. You'll see the name of the course that you are currently in the box in the teal color, and that way if you so you know exactly what course you are officially working in at that point in time. And then to the far right is highlighted in orange, you'll see your name to make sure that you are actually in your course for you. Going back to the lessons icon, the little textbook, when you click on that little textbook, you will open up your lessons for the course. The lessons are set up in modules, The number of modules depend on the course itself, but the modules will be listed either down the side over to the left, as you see in this particular slide right here. Sometimes the modules are listed in the middle of the page. It just depends on the course, but your modules will be listed somewhere once you click on that textbook icon. And then you also will notice in some of the classes there's a menu title up towards the top of the page that you can select to get to a specific module, or you can select the module as listed in the center or side of the page. You will always want to go in order, starting with the first module that is listed, and work your way consecutively through those. Do not skip around. The only way that you would skip around is if you were maybe taking segment 2 of the course only. But if you are taking the full year course, segment 1 and segment 2, you will start at the very beginning and work your way through. Once you are in the module that you need to work in, you will then be able to click on the lessons. And as you can see, there will be a lessons button for you to click on, or you will click directly on the module, and it will give you a list of the different lessons that are going to be found in that module. These are kind of like the pages within the chapter. The modules like the chapter, and then the lessons are like the pages within the chapter. And you'll select whatever lesson you are currently working on. Again, you'll want to work through these consecutively in sequence. Do not skip around if at all possible. And once you click on the lesson you are working on, it'll open up to that lesson, and it will have multiple pages, most likely, that go with it. And there are arrows that you'll be able to click on next to where it says home. There's arrows to the right and to the left that will let you click to move through the different pages of that lesson. They will also continue moving you into the next lesson if you just use the arrows only instead of going back to the menu. That is completely up to you. At the end of each lesson is going to be a summary page that will go over and wrap up the lesson that you were just working on. It'll provide us a short little summary of what you were doing in that lesson. And as well, if you scroll down on the page, it will give you the assignment that is required for that particular lesson. And this particular one that is on the screen, it's a lab activity that the student will complete. The directions for that lab activity will continue below there. And then at the very bottom, it tells you where to submit that assignment in the assessment area, what has to be submitted and where to submit it at in the assessment area. So it's very important that you do not just go to your assessments list, the turn-in box, and try to just do your work directly from there. You need to be working through your lessons and the modules so that you can get all the directions necessary so you are able to complete those assignments in the assessment section correctly. So be sure to visit the last page of every lesson to find the directions for what assignment is due for that particular lesson so you complete it correctly. All right, moving to the assessment, the turn-in box icon. When you click on that, it'll pull up what is known as your workload, and this lists all of the different assignments or assessments you are going to be completing. Now you will see that they're usually either an exam or an assignment as listed under the assessment section. Exams can be anything from a pre-test to a quiz to a module exam, and assignments are going to be written assignments that you will submit. And again, the directions for those are in the lessons within your lessons icon. It is important to note that with the exams, you only get one attempt. So once you open it, you will need to be able to complete it in that one sitting and submit it in the one sitting. Whereas the assignments, you get up to 3. You can submit it if you maybe don't like the grades you get on it. You can click on it in your grade book in order to view the feedback from your teacher so you know what needs to be corrected, and then you can resubmit it again up to 3 times. There are sometimes also what are known as worksheets listed. Those are kind of looked at as mini quizzes, and those can usually be submitted up to 3 times as well, and they can be reset by the student to up to 3 times. But again, please do not just go through the assessments list and never look at your lessons, because then you will not know the directions on how to complete these assignments correctly, and therefore you will not do them well. Also, you will not have covered the material necessary to do well on the exam portions. In the assignment, when you click on the assignment you're looking to submit, if it's a written assignment, you'll click on it and you will see this little screen pop up that gives you the points that are possible, how many times you're allowed to submit it, how many submissions you've made already. Then there's a box where there's student comments. This is where you can type directly into it to put your answers or put your assignment. If you want to just type directly there, if that works for that particular assignment, you're welcome to do so. However, most students find that it is easier for a lot of the assignments in which you have to add charts or pictures or things like that to actually upload a file that you created on your computer. And so that is done in this area below where it says Add Files. You click on that and it will allow you to search your computer to select the file that you want to upload. And then you will click the little checkbox, Submit for Grading. It's very important that you click that little checkbox. Otherwise, the assignment will never get submitted to the teacher to be graded. It'll just sit there being saved, waiting for you because it thinks that you're wanting to change it for some reason. So you got to click that little Submit for Grading box and then click the blue button that says Submit for Grading so that the teacher will know it's there it needs to be graded. Okay. Back to the main menu, or back to the toolbar that's at the top. If you go to the main menu, those three little horizontal lines, I said we were going to look at a couple of the things that you can get to here. You'll get this, if you click on that horizontal line icon, you'll get this big black box to open up with lots of choices. One of the areas that I want you to be familiar with is the grade book. Here is how you find your grades. So if you want to know how you did on an assignment or in the class overall so far, you will click on Grade Book. From that main menu icon, click on the gradebook, and it will open up your grades, and you will see that it'll tell you the segment and what % of the segment you have completed, as well as how many of the assessments you've done so far and what's remaining. It tells you your current grade, and then it lists all of the assignments or assessments and what your grade is if you finished it or not. And you'll notice there's different colors. If you've submitted it and it has not been graded yet, it will be blue. If it has been submitted, graded, and is above a 60% on it, it will be green. If it was graded and below a 60%, it will be red, and those are ones that you definitely want to pay attention to. If it's something that can be resubmitted, I highly suggest that you do so. And if it is grayed out, then that means you were exempt or it was a pretest. So if you get to this point and say you found an assignment that you did not like the grade on for whatever reason, maybe it wasn't a failing grade or it just wasn't a grade high enough that you would like, you click on the name of that assignment again to open it back up, and you'll be able to read feedback from your teacher on what was missing or what needs to be corrected. And then also in that same place, you'll be able to attach a new file that can be submitted again for grading. This is as long as it's an assignment that allows for resubmissions. Exams, like I said before, are only allowed to be done once, so when you are ready to do an exam, please make sure that you are prepared, have your notes available, and are able to do that in one sitting. The next icon on here is the email, that little envelope. I wanted to touch on this a little bit. When you click on that, you will see all of your email messages. So make sure you check your emails on a regular basis. Lots of important information is sent through the course email. You can also send me or any other teacher a message by clicking on New Message, and then you'll be able to send that to send a message to your teachers through the course as well. Another thing about email that's really important is when you are in the main menu, if you click on Email Preferences, you can actually create your own signature line that will automatically attach to every email you send in the course. This is something that we ask all of our students to do, so that way we always know who the student is, what course it is, and how to contact that student back. So again, that's under the main menu. You'll click on Email Preferences, and then when you open that up, it will allow for you to put in a signature on an outgoing email. So we ask that students go ahead and put their full name, their phone number, and then a list of the courses they are taking with Clay Virtual, and then click the Update Preferences. So every time that from that point forward, when you send an email or a response through the course, it will have your name and your course and your phone number listed for the teacher. That allows for the teacher to respond much faster to the questions you have, so we know exactly who and what we're talking about. DBAs. You probably heard about a DBA if you've ever taken a course with Clay Virtual or online before, or if you have friends who have. A DBA is a discussion-based assessment. At the end of each of your modules or chapters, if you want to think of it that way, you'll have a module exam or a chapter test. Before you can take that, students are required to complete a DBA with their teacher, a discussion-based assessment. This is not meant to be something to cause major concern or nervousness or stress. It is meant to just be a conversation with your teacher about the module. So your teacher will ask you a few questions about the module just to make sure you have a good understanding of the module material. If the teacher feels you need to freshen up on a little bit, then they may ask you to go back and review a few things and then try the discussion-based assessment again. If it's something that's not too major, then the teacher may just go ahead and go over that with you to make sure you have to clear up any misunderstandings or misconceptions, and just so that we have you on a good base for taking the exam. To do your DBA, it is important that you note that you must schedule an appointment for these, and that's done using the appointment scheduler that's on the course homepage. And I've shown it here at the bottom of this slide on that course homepage with a button that says Appointment Scheduler. You'll click on that and follow the prompts to schedule your appointment. So you need to make sure that you do plan ahead. If you wait to the last minute, you may not be able to get an appointment when you need to. So please try to plan ahead each week, knowing kind of where you're going to be, so that if you need an appointment by the end of the week or the start of the next week, you go ahead and get that appointment made so you're not waiting to continue working in your class. It's also important to note that students are responsible for calling the teacher at his or her appointment time. Students have many different phone numbers or at different locations all the time. It's very hard for the teachers to keep track of where 150 kids are each day and time. So it's much easier if the student calls the teacher, because the teacher has one number and will know that you're supposed to be calling. So please make sure that you write it down, your appointment time, somewhere where you will not forget, and call the teacher at your appointment time. And when you call, please make sure that you identify yourself and what you are calling for. Do keep in mind that missing an appointment will result in a grade deduction on the DBA, because it is your responsibility to contact the teacher for this assignment, and it is a graded assignment that you'll need to do. They are not optional, they are required, and they need to be done in the order that they come to. Please try not to skip DBAs, because they will just continue to add up. They will not go away, and in some cases the teacher will lock you from the course if you continue to skip DBA assignments. Lastly, on that toolbar, you'll notice that there is where the name of your course is posted at the top. You have a little arrow at the side of that. If you click on that drop-down arrow, it allows you to switch to any of your other classes you're taking with Clay Virtual. So this is a nice feature. Instead of having to log back out and log all the way back in and go back to the home, the main FLVS page, you can change your course directly there by just clicking that drop-down arrow and then selecting the other course you need to go to work in. So that's a nice little feature there. So hopefully this will get you on your way to being able to complete your coursework and be successful. And I do appreciate you joining me and watching, and I do welcome you to the class. And if at any time you have any questions about a lesson, an assignment, or how to do something or where to go, please feel free to contact me. You can call, text, or email at any time. Thank you and have a great day.